Thank you. Thank you so much for giving us this opportunity, especially the Center for Indic Studies. My topic today, it says, Discovering the World Within for a Rich Inner Living. I would just like to go through some basic aspects of discovery, inner world, rich inner living. So, let us try to understand. We want to highlight on what we understand by discovery. We may say, I know everything, I mean, we know the idea, but we want to know something from the first-hand experience of someone. World, we know that we refer to the universe. And one of the wonderful revelations by the holistic scientist, he has said that the world outside is the dicto picture of the world inside. So, all our concern should be to investigate, to find out what is within me. Because whatever is within me gets reflected outside. It's like we look into the mirror and we see ourselves. So, one way it is said that the world is your own mirror. Further, when we say about rich, we refer to some material benefit, but truly it means have to have some meaningful, substantial benefit which we can count on. And inner definitely means that it is not outer. So we don't worry about what's happening outside, but from outside we come to know what was programmed inside. So now what I need to do is change the program inside. And that is where the holistic scientist becomes effective, and he guides us that if we really want to change our life, then we have to work inside. And those things cannot be seen, being inside. Living, everyone feels that I am living. You know, the most, I won't say the tragic part, but what it means, our outside living, we say that I am living. But the outside part is just affecting our part. It is called lived out part, which is not in my hands, because we experience helplessness at the level of our thoughts. We cannot think what we want to think. We cannot speak what we want to speak, and we cannot behave the way we want to behave. Someone may say, how is it like that? Then don't we have to feel sorry for our actions? Don't we have to feel sorry for what we speak? And don't we feel sorry for our thoughts? That itself proves that it is not in anybody's hands. So, what do we learn out of it? That's how the holistic science teaches us how will you live from inside, and that is where our life is counted on. And if we discover from inside, then that inner discovery will help us live positively from inside, which will eventually bring results outside. And here, in this section, I want to highlight some of the important aspects of what the holistic scientist has revealed, and he has lived all his life, giving us as an example for us that how will we live our life, because that is common to one and all. That is common to one and all. And why they say that we are all dead? Because we believe that the outside living is my living part, but outside is just effect which is not in anybody's hand. It is totally mechanical. It is just a machinery. And we want to analyze the inner faculty and the outer effect. We're talking about the inner self and outer self. Outer self refers to our body, basically. So, and the inner self, we want to highlight its functionality. Dr. Shailesh Mehta has highlighted that we have our mind that thinks, our intellect that comprehends and makes decisions. Reflective consciousness gives us tangible picture of reality, and egoism only claims that doership, I do. One of the wonderful revelation regarding our speech is speech, whether it goes on inside and that goes outside, it's a mere tape record. What it means, whatever that was recorded gets played out. So it is in nobody's capacity to speak what they want to speak, but the circumstances make us speak. So our speech depends or relies on outside circumstances, but only that which is programmed gets played out. If it is not programmed, it cannot be played out. Here we want to highlight the universal functioning of our inner self, how it really works. Another holistic revelation: the world is run by instrument and instrumentality aspect. What it means, those causes which are inside, they play a vital role in coming across individuals who are instrument for us, for our instrumental aspect. It plays its part. In the sense, normally what happens, I come across someone and I get mad, saying that because I saw you, because you did this, I got mad at you. No, those flaws are inside, and the outside person is just an instrument for me, for my weaknesses to come out. So wisdom lies in the fact that I remain observant what goes on inside, and I keep correcting. Because that is the only moment I have where I get to know what was my inner stuff, what was my inner programming. And being vigilant and mindful, I get to know what was programmed inside that made the thing happen outside, so I better correct myself from inside. And one of the wonderful science that is brought out is how circumstances work. The science of circumstances is well brought out by the holistic science. And another wonderful science, if we change our understanding, the behavior will change automatically. People insist, why did you do this? You should not have done. But unless the understanding changes, behavior, actions cannot change. So, if my understanding changes, the behavior will change automatically. I just give you an example. I was not a very good academic student in my school time, but my brother was a rank in the class. But it so happened in in my 9th grade, I really felt bad, and everybody pounced on me. So it was such an insulting situation. Anybody would feel bad about it. But one thing, very positive thing that happened with me, because I had a living example as my elder brother with me, I thought that if he can do it, why can't I? And that changed the whole story. That single decision, which Dr. Mehta talked about, our decision power, if we use that power, the world will change for us. The way holistic scientist has changed his life over a period of time, it's a wonderful example for us that we have a living example in front of us and we can learn everything what we want to. So here we want to understand what is this scientific approach. What we mean by scientific approach. As are the causes, so is the effect. Effect cannot change without causes. So if you change causes, effect will change naturally. So we even don't have to worry about the effect. It's like if you want to sow a maple plant, a maple tree, you sow that maple seed and you will see it growing. You should sow it properly, put manure, put water, everything properly, and then you have to leave it to the nature. And normally, if everything goes well, it has to go on and it will give rise to a good tree. This is an example, but you can extrapolate it to every aspect of our life. So here again we say, use power of our decision. And again, we have to be mindful, very well observant about what we have programmed. It is not possible for anybody to look into oneself and check the programming. But when it affects outside, so our circumstances, our situation of life is of vital importance to us to remain mindful and observant and try to understand. Looking at the effects, we can understand what could be the causes, what were the causes, and if it is happening to me, I got to be responsible for it. If it is not happening to me, I'm not responsible. But if it is happening to me, I am responsible. I cannot blame any outside agency for that suffering. Now we want to switch on to, I want to highlight the inner state of the holistic scientist, how he lives his life. And here we want to bring out the functioning of our inner self. So he remains watchful, and through his self-observation, he has revealed a wonderful aspect of our life. Whatever the way we act, as Dr. Javeri also highlighted, that we get information through our five senses. And based on what was programmed at the level of our mind, we get thoughts. Based on those thoughts, our reflective consciousness tries to give us picture, tangible picture of reality of those thoughts. Now, intellect intercepts, comprehends the situation, evaluates the situation, and makes a decision. Subsequently, the egoism simply follows the decision made by the intellect. And the moment a decision is made, action follows accordingly. So, depending on the decision, the actions are made. So, here lies a wonderful inner insight that, as Dr. Javeri brought out, mind is what we are. Every individual is identified by his mind. And mind basically relates to one's thoughts. And thoughts get programmed as one speaks. So another wonderful revelation is also there, that conceivement takes place, we get conceived at the level of our mind. So if we take care of our speech, what we talk, then our life is taken care of. So he has said, that is why you are whole and soul responsible for yourself, no one else. So our investigation, our finding straight away relates to our own inner self only. So what should be our duty, or what should be our purpose of life? We remain well focused of what is happening inside. The inside thing is such, outside people cannot know what is going on inside. So others will try to see things outside, but our focus will be inside. And the way we observe and correct inside, outside will change automatically. It is similar to one who is driving. One who drives, the steering is in his hands. He has the brake, he keeps observing the mirrors continuously. And from that mindfulness of the surrounding traffic and his goal, where he wants to go, his destination, he follows those signs and he steers through the road and he reaches his destination. Same way we have to do. Here we want to say that the holistic scientist always remains very much mindful on what is happening and on his speech. So he has said very wonderfully, he has said that opinion is the father of mind. We look at the situation and we get to that conviction about that matter and we form an opinion, a belief. And that belief, when it gets spoken through language, the mind is born. So here is where, if one takes care of his speech, that's why I just said the soul power gets leaked through speech. So it is said that if you mind the word, your world will be taken care. The very cause of the world is our words. So if you have taken care of the word, your world is taken care. So it's a wonderful thing. He says you are the audience, the listeners. The speech that is spoken out is the original tape record. Why he says his speech as original tape record? Because he is free from all kind of ownership and rulership of the speech. He says, I am not the owner. Because he has realized his self, who he is. And he, as perceiver and knower of the speech, he continuously observes what is being spoken of. And what he does all through, wherever he finds any flaws, any mistake, he corrects himself. He corrects himself. That's how he lives his life. Here a little exercise he has given. No one has come in this world with a name. The name is given to us. It was given to us. And over a period of time, somehow I started believing I am the name. Although that name is given for identity, so I say my name is so and so, that is correct phrase. But to say that I am name, that is I am David, I am so and so, I am so and so, so and so, that is all related to my name. So if we make an evaluation, do we say my mind or I am mine? Obviously my mind. Same way, my intellect, my reflective consciousness, my egoism, I say my body, my eyes, my relations, everything we say my friends, material, we own, but that is where we connect with mine. So when we know the I, it needs to be realized, and that realization cannot come through scriptures, through yoga, although they talk of self-realization, but it cannot be achieved. One of the questions was there regarding how can one know his true self. This is the process. And then only, it is like when I claim myself by my name, but the body, mind and speech is bundle of karmic results. That which was caused previously gets effected out now, and I claim myself that I am name. So what happens? All those attributes of the body, the speech, and the mind, I claim its ownership, which is wrong. Which is wrong. So when we come to know who I am, really knowing myself who I am, really, then everything gets solved, because then I won't claim ownership and rulership of my mind, speech and body. Now let us understand, because the moment we come to know how the holistic scientist lived his life, and out of what understanding he lived his life, he is egoless, because he has known his self who he is. So he doesn't claim name as he is. He claims, he doesn't have to claim because he has realized himself. And due to that, it's like the small I is identity of every individual. The worldly identity by name. My name is so and so, and they claim that I am so and so. So that I am so and so is a small I. It's not the true real I. The self-realized state, it is not there. So that big I is there in everyone, common in all. And he being realized, he sees himself the way doctor said, I, E-Y-E, also mean I. But that I, if you are self-realized, you will see that I in everyone. You won't have any fight with anyone. If they do anything to you, they don't do to you. It is the atom between the body, from one body to the other body. So you don't have any hard feelings. And those things are meant for observation only, to learn that some mistake was committed by me, due to which it is happening now. So what am I supposed to do now? Correct myself from inside, and outside is going to change. Because outside is there because of the inside belief. The moment you change the belief from inside through our decision power, the outside will change. So here again, he is totally free from all kind of ownership because he has known the functioning of mind, speech and body. So when he knows about himself, he has known about everyone. He is impartial because he lives by his I, capital I state, which is impartial, which is common in all. But the small I is different, but he doesn't reside on that. He is a non-doer. He lives with total humility with everyone. Because when he has known his true self, and every other person is identified by that true self, the other person doesn't know, but he is enlightened. So he sees himself in everyone. So he has no problem with anyone. And because his body is also part of the nature, he lives with total humility. So outside, that difference is there, but how to live with that difference? To live with other person's desire. Live as per other person's desire. That's how you live with utter humility. We say, I die for you, but then when the moment comes, you're not to receive it. Because it is not all that easy to live as per others' desire. So, how does he live? Relatively, he is most humble. Really, he is the Supreme Godhood. With that I state in the Supreme Godhood state of everyone. And by his very nature, he remains with inner balance. That's a wonderful thing. So, all these things needs to be researched in the sense we have to understand. The moment you understand, you will start living those qualities automatically. He lives in other person's body. We only want to live in my body. I want to live in my body. I want to live as per my desire. I don't care for other person's desire. Can I exist or can I have a good relation with any other person? Not possible. But when I start living as per others' desire, the other person will be very happy living with me. That's the master key of living with perfect friendship, with perfect universal brotherhood. So, how does he live? He understands the other person's viewpoint. He adjusts with the other person's viewpoint, and he still remains in the center, that is his I state. This is a wonderful thing, but we need to really investigate on all this further. He pondered over every aspect, possible aspect of life, and he has solutions for every problem. So in this regard, he remains perseverant and knower all the time, and due to that, he is identified as a world observatory. It's like if you want to know anything about the universe, you have to go to a certain telescope which is kept on some mountain top, and that's how you investigate. So it is regarding the world outside. In inner world, we get to know to the holistic scientist. This is the beauty of the holistic scientist who can give insight to our inner world. And that is why he is identified as a world observatory. It's a very big and responsible word by saying that he is a world observatory. How could he be identified? He could be identified by his innocent eyes, humble, innocent eyes. It's like when I see anything, and if I don't like, it gets reflected on my eyes. If I'm happy, those eyes are different. If I'm mad, my eyes are different. So, because he sees everyone in himself, his eyes are remain, they remain innocent and humble. And then his speech, because he is so much observant about his speech, it is so perfect, it never hurts anyone. So his straightforward speech is the indication, and that speech is such, it is totally free from contradiction. What it means, if you really record someone's speech, what they speak, then you will find that everyone contradicts himself. So on one side, I will talk that I want to make you happy, but then on the other side, my speech comes out such that you get hurt. That's an open contradiction. You understand that? So he's so much observant and mindful about his speech, and he has corrected almost most of it. So for us, like outsiders, it is very difficult to pinpoint his mistake. He has worked so much, and we have to work because our speech is such, anybody can catch us on the spot. So for us, for our speech to be free from all contradiction, it's a great task. And that's why he is fully enlightened in our state. One more important thing, don't we experience obstacles in our life? I have a desire, the desire don't get fulfilled. Maybe it takes little time, it takes more time. I put all my efforts. At times, I even fight for it, but things doesn't happen. What is the problem? Others, they get into it and their desire get fulfilled. And why doesn't it happen to me? This is a very common question that everyone experiences. But if you are in his vicinity and you are with his communion with him, then your obstacles naturally get eliminated. Because he has lived in perfect humility with everyone. So if you are in touch with him, in his vicinity, communicating with him, then your life will also become obstacle free. Everyone is seeking that actually. Further, our present life is the result of our previous experiment. He has said that whatever is happening now, life is a live experiment. We have experimented ourselves, and the causes or that which was experimented previously in the form of egoistic projections, it is now resulting out. And while living this present life as a result of that previous experiment, new experiment is going on through fresh projections. So that is where our life is counted on. With this holistic understanding, if we start living our life with right projections, then we are doing a new experiment for which we will reap the fruits of it in future. But presently, when I am living correctly, the results in the future will be obvious. His exemplary perfect life is a great motivation for many. But it's like we have come across people with flaws. At home we see people at flaw because they have not perfected that life. And the Holy Scientist has perfected his life. It's a unique experience to come across a perfect person like this. What we had in the past, Jesus Christ, Lord Krishna, Lord Mahavira, Lord Rama, all those great people were like this. a discrimination. So we have to fight and clear ourselves. But with this understanding, we can also become discrimination free. Breaking what we taught, scriptures don't help us, yoga don't help us, listening to self-realization discourses don't help us. But if we come across a living holistic scientist, and if we are graced by the same vision with which he views the world, we can experience the same ultimate happiness of oneness. It's like we feel lonely because we are separated from the rest. That loneliness he never feels. And this is the best part. The moment we view ourselves in everyone, that loneliness will never be felt. So, this is what an evaluation is. If anybody wants to know his yourself, his true identity, then that is only through a living master, a living holistic scientist. Because a wonderful example, Arjuna came to Lord Krishna. We are talking about the time which is around 5,000 years back. And 5,000 years from then, that is 10,000 years from now, Lord Rama had already come and he had guided Hanumanji towards liberation, towards perfection. So when Arjuna came to Lord Krishna, he never said, go to Rama. He's already said everything about liberation and all. Why? Why did he say that? No. For one to learn and understand this science of life, you have to listen to the experience words directly. Even the recorded speech don't help. So one who has experience can pass on that experience to us. And that was the beauty of the present. Like all the 12 disciples of Jesus Christ, they got benefited. And he taught them the way I have lived with you. You should